Tate stood at the front of his history classroom in Lincoln High School, a suburban institution in upstate New York, his chalk-dusted hands trembling slightly as he wrote the date on the board. It was a crisp autumn morning in 2024, and the room buzzed with the usual pre-bell chatter of juniors, kids on the cusp of adulthood, their voices a mix of bravado and insecurity. But today, something felt off. Whispers rippled through the rows like a gathering storm. Suddenly, Jake Harlan, the star quarterback with a smirk that could cut glass, stood up and shouted, "Hey, Mr. T, is it true you're gay? Saw you with that guy at the mall last weekend." The class erupted in a chaotic blend of gasps, laughter, and uneasy silence. And in that instant, Tate's carefully constructed world shattered, exposing the raw truth he'd hidden for years. He froze, the marker slipping from his fingers, clattering to the floor. His mind raced back to that innocent Saturday outing with Ryan, his partner of 2 years. A simple coffee run that now felt like a fatal mistake. How had they been spotted? Who cared enough to spread it? But there was no time for questions. The principal's office summons came swiftly, and by lunch, the rumor had viraled across social media, turning Tate from respected educator to school pariah overnight. Tate drove home that evening in a daze, the familiar streets of his hometown blurring through tears he refused to let fall. He'd grown up here, in a conservative family where his father, a retired veteran, preached traditional values over Sunday dinners, and his mother fretted about grandchildren. Coming out had never been an option. It was a bomb that would detonate everything. Ryan was waiting at their modest apartment, his face etched with worry. "What happened?" he asked, pulling Tate into a hug that felt like the only anchor in a swirling sea. They sat on the couch, Ryan's hand in his, as Tate recounted the ordeal. Ryan, a graphic designer with an easy smile and unflinching optimism, had been out since college, but he understood Tate's fears. "We can fight this," Ryan said, his voice steady. "Or we can run. But hiding isn't living." Tate nodded, but inside, doubt gnawed at him. Teaching was his passion. He'd spent a decade inspiring kids to question history's injustices. Yet now he was the injustice in their eyes. The next day at school was hell. Graffiti on his classroom door read "Fag Teacher," and students averted their eyes or snickered behind hands. Even colleagues whispered in the staff lounge. Principal Hargrove, a stern woman in her 50s, called him in. "Tate, this is delicate. Parents are calling. We support diversity, but discretion is key." Her words stung like a betrayal, support in theory, silence in practice. Tate's family dinner that weekend amplified the pressure. His sister, Emily, the only one who knew his secret, shot him sympathetic glances, but his father dominated the conversation with rants about woke culture ruining America. "Kids these days need discipline, not coddling," he boomed, oblivious to the irony. Tate bit his tongue, the weight of unspoken truth pressing on his chest like a stone. Back home, Ryan pushed gently. "Tell them, or at least stand up at school." But Tate hesitated, memories of high school bullying flashing back. His own closeted teen years filled with isolation. Was coming out worth the risk? The internal conflict tore at him, loyalty to self versus fear of loss. As weeks passed, the harassment escalated. Anonymous notes in his mailbox, online trolls doxing his address. One night, eggs splattered their car windshield. A crude message scrawled in yolk, "Get out, queers." Ryan's patience frayed. "This isn't just about you anymore, Tate. It's us." Their first real fight erupted. Voices raised in the kitchen, accusations flying. Tate's cowardice versus Ryan's naivety. Yet amid the storm, a spark ignited. Quiet student, Mia, approached him after class. "Mr. T, I'm bi, and seeing this happen to you sucks. You're not alone." Her words pierced the fog, reminding him why he taught, to empower the vulnerable. That evening, Tate stared at his reflection, the man he'd become versus the boy he'd been. A decision crystallized, not to hide, but to confront. He began researching LGBTQ rights in education, contacting advocacy groups. The path ahead was fraught, but for the first time, resolve outweighed fear. The tension built as Tate prepared his bold move, unaware of the betrayals lurking. Jake, the instigator, wasn't just a bully. He had his own secrets, a crush on a teammate he dared not admit. And Emily, torn between family loyalty and justice, faced her own dilemma. Tate's resolve hardened over the following days, but the school's atmosphere grew thicker with unspoken accusations. Whispers followed him down the halls, and even his lesson on civil rights felt hypocritical under the students' scrutinizing gazes. He assigned an essay on historical prejudices, hoping to subtly steer the conversation, but Jake submitted a paper laced with veiled homophobia, earning a failing grade that only fueled the fire. At home, Ryan's support wavered under the strain. "I love you, Tate, but I can't keep living in the shadows," he confessed one night over takeout pizza, their usual comfort food now tasting like cardboard. Tate promised change, but words felt empty. Their relationship, once a sanctuary, now cracked with doubt. Intimate moments interrupted by Tate's paranoia, fears of being watched. Family tensions peaked when Emily visited unexpectedly. "Dad's suspicious," she warned, her eyes pleading. "He's heard rumors from old friends. You need to tell him before he finds out." Tate paced the living room, heart pounding. Coming out to his father meant risking disownment, the loss of the only family anchor he had left. But silence was suffocating Emily too. She confessed her own guilt for keeping his secret, the moral weight bending her. In school, alliances shifted. A group of students, led by Mia, started a petition for inclusivity training, but it backfired when parents complained at a PTA meeting. "We don't want that agenda in our schools," one father shouted, his face red with anger. Principal Hargrove placated them, sidelining Tate's input, leaving him feeling isolated and betrayed by the system he'd trusted. Jake's aggression masked deeper turmoil. Late one night, he messaged Tate anonymously, "Why do you have to flaunt it?" But Tate traced the IP, confronting Jake privately. "I'm not flaunting anything, Jake. But hating me won't make your own confusion go away." Jake stormed off, but the seed was planted. His secret attraction to his best friend, Tyler, bubbling to the surface. Ryan, sensing Tate's distraction, suggested couples therapy, but Tate resisted, fearing exposure. Their argument escalated. "You're choosing fear over us," Ryan yelled, slamming the door as he left for a walk. Alone, Tate wept, questioning every choice, the career, the relationship, the hidden life. A turning point came when Tate attended a local LGBTQ support group, urged by Mia's recommendation. Hearing stories of others' struggles mirrored his own, igniting a fire. He decided to propose an assembly on tolerance, but Hargrove rejected it. "Too controversial," she said. Undeterred, Tate leaked the idea to the local paper, sparking media interest. The backlash was swift, threatening calls, his father's furious voicemail demanding answers. "What's this nonsense about you and that lifestyle?" Tate finally called back, voice steady. "Dad, I'm gay, and I'm not ashamed." The line went dead, the silence a gut punch. Emily mediated, arranging a family meeting. Tensions boiled as his father accused him of betrayal, his mother in tears. "We raised you better," his dad said, but Emily defended. "You raised us to be honest. This is honesty." The argument raged, old wounds reopening. His father's military rigidity clashing with Tate's plea for acceptance. Meanwhile, at school, Jake's internal conflict exploded. Caught kissing Tyler in the locker room, he was outed by peers, the irony not lost on anyone. Panicked, Jake blamed Tate, spreading lies that amplified the hate. Ryan returned that night, apologetic but firm. "We fight together or not at all." They reconciled, but the damage lingered, trust frayed. As the media storm grew, Tate faced a choice. back down or push forward. He chose the latter, organizing an underground student meeting, risking his job. The gathering was tense, voices clashing, supporters versus detractors. Mia spoke up, "Hate hurts everyone." Jake lurked in the shadows, listening. The night ended with the anonymous tip to Hargrove, betraying the meeting. Tate was suspended pending investigation, the price of his defiance steep. Suspension hit Tate like a freight train, confining him to his apartment where days blurred into a haze of regret and determination. Ryan took time off work to support him, cooking meals and holding him through sleepless nights, but the strain showed in Ryan's tired eyes. "We're in this," he repeated, a mantra against the encroaching doubt. His father's silence stretched into weeks, a void filled only by Emily's updates. "He's processing," she said. But Tate knew better. Rejection was his father's default. Memories flooded. Childhood fishing trips where vulnerability was weakness. Lessons in manhood that left no room for authenticity. School rumors festered in his absence. Mia texted updates. Jake's outing had shifted dynamics. Some students empathized, others doubled down on hate. Tyler, Jake's crush, distanced himself, leaving Jake isolated, mirroring Tate's pain. Tate used the time to build a case, consulting lawyers from the ACLU. "You have grounds for discrimination," they advised. But suing his employer meant burning bridges, a moral quandary. Justice versus livelihood. A surprise visit from Jake shattered the monotony. Standing at the door, disheveled and tear-streaked, he muttered, I'm sorry." Tate invited him in, offering coffee. Jake confessed, "I was scared of myself." The conversation unfolded, raw and honest. Jake's family pressures, his denial. Tate listened, offering guidance without judgment. A bridge across the divide. Inspired, Tate drafted a speech for his potential return, words pouring out. The cost of silence, the power of truth. Ryan read it, tears in his eyes. "This is you, Tate. Brave." Family reconciliation attempted via a tense dinner. His father grumbled greetings, but as Tate explained his journey, cracks appeared. "I fought for freedom overseas," his dad said gruffly. "Guess that includes you." It wasn't full acceptance, but a start. No hugs, but no disownment. Backlash intensified when the local news aired a segment on the gay teacher scandal. Protests formed outside the school, signs waving, "Protect our kids." Hargrove called, offering reinstatement if he dropped the assembly idea. "Compromise," she urged. Tate refused, his internal debate raging. Safety versus change. Ryan supported him, but fear lingered. What if it cost their relationship? Jake, transformed, rallied students secretly. "Mr. T didn't deserve this," he told friends, admitting his role. Tyler, moved, reconciled with Jake. Their budding romance a quiet rebellion. Tate's hearing approached, a public forum where testimonies would decide his fate. Nerves frayed, he practiced with Ryan, who role-played opposition. Their bond strengthened through adversity, love tested and reaffirmed. The day arrived, the boardroom packed. Hargrove presented neutrally. Parents railed against indoctrination. Then Mia spoke. "He's the best teacher because he cares." Jake followed. "I started this hate, and I was wrong." Tate's turn. He delivered his speech, voice unwavering, detailing the human cost of prejudice. The room fell silent, then applause from unexpected corners. The board deliberated, reinstating him with conditions. No assembly, but mandatory sensitivity training. Victory bittersweet, Tate accepted, knowing the fight continued. Home that night, Ryan proposed, "Marry me, Tate. Let's make this official." Overwhelmed, Tate said yes, a beacon amid darkness. But shadows loomed. Anonymous threats escalated, forcing them to consider moving. The price of visibility weighed heavy. Engagement brought fleeting joy, a private celebration with Emily toasting their future. But reality intruded swiftly. The ring on Tate's finger became a symbol of defiance, drawing stares at school upon his return. Students' reactions varied. Some apologized, others glared. Jake, now an ally, formed a GSA club, inviting Tate as advisor. "Let's change this place," Jake said, his own coming-out journey inspiring. Family dynamics shifted uneasily. His mother baked a congratulatory cake, awkward but genuine. His father attended a PFLAG meeting at Emily's insistence, grumbling but listening. "It's not easy," he admitted later, a rare vulnerability. Ryan's family, more accepting, hosted a dinner. Contrasts highlighted. Warm embraces versus Tate's guarded interactions. Envy stirred in Tate. Why couldn't his be the same? Conflicts arose when a conservative school board member, Mr. Ellis, pushed for Tate's dismissal, citing moral unfit. Petitions circulated, dividing the community. Tate countered with op-eds in local papers, his words eloquent. "Hate teaches nothing but more hate." Personal toll mounted. Ryan's job suffered from association. Clients canceled, whispering prejudices. "Is it worth it?" Ryan asked one night, frustration boiling. Tate reassured, but doubt crept in. Their love a casualty of war? A betrayal struck. Emily, under family pressure, leaked a private email where Tate vented about his father. It went viral, twisting words into attacks. His dad confronted. "You think I'm a monster?" Hurt flashed in his eyes, widening the rift. Tate apologized, but damage done. Emily tearfully explained, "I thought it would force understanding." Trust shattered, sibling bonds strained. At school, the GSA's first meeting drew crowds and protesters. Shouts echoed, "Sinful influence." Tate mediated, but a scuffle broke out, Jake defending a younger member. Police arrived, headlines screaming, "Chaos at Lincoln High." Hargrove blamed Tate. "This is on you." Suspension loomed again, moral dilemma peaking. Persist or retreat? Inspired by Ryan's unwavering love, Tate chose escalation. He organized a town hall bypassing school channels, renting a community center. Flyers distributed. Dialogue on diversity. Attendance surprised. Supporters outnumbered foes. Speakers shared stories, parents of LGBTQ kids, allies. Jake spoke. "I was the bully. Now I'm better." Emotional peaks. Tears, hugs, awakenings. Ellis disrupted, accusing propaganda. Debate raged, Tate moderating with poise. A pivotal moment. His father appeared, unannounced. "I don't understand it all," he said publicly. "But he's my son." The crowd hushed, a turning point. Post-event, reconciliations. Emily forgiven, family healing. Ryan beamed. "You did it." But victory cost. Exhaustion, therapy sessions for trauma. Tate questioned. Was change worth the scars? As momentum built, the school adopted inclusive policies, GSA thriving. Jake and Tyler went public, facing backlash but standing tall. Tate reflected. Actions ripple, but so do pains. With policies in place, calm seemed possible, but undercurrents swirled. Tate's classroom normalized, lessons infused with empathy. Students engaged deeper, essays revealing personal growth. Ryan's business rebounded, their wedding planning a joyful distraction. Venue hunting in New York City, dreams of vows under city lights. Family integration progressed. His father helped with invitations, awkward jokes masking progress. "Proud of you, son," he said once, words Tate cherished. Yet society pushed back. National news picked up the story, framing it as culture war. Online trolls intensified, doxing Ryan. They installed security, paranoia shadowing happiness. A moral crossroads. A documentary filmmaker approached, wanting Tate's story. Exposure meant amplification, but vulnerability. Ryan hesitated. "We've paid enough." Tate weighed. Silence aids oppressors. He agreed, filming raw interviews, reliving traumas hurt, but cathartic. Jake participated, his arc compelling. Betrayal resurfaced. A colleague, jealous of attention, leaked confidential student files implicating Tate in favoritism. Investigation ensued. Reputation tarnished anew. Hargrove defended him, a surprising ally. He's transformed the school, she testified. Cleared, but scars deepened. Personal awakening. Therapy revealed Tate's internalized homophobia, roots in upbringing. Sessions with Ryan strengthened them, communication flowering. Jake faced his own trial, family rejection after coming out. Tate offered shelter, mentoring like a father figure. Town evolved, pride events planned, community shifting. But not without resistance. Vandalism at GSA events. High point. Wedding day, intimate ceremony. Vows exchanged. Through storms we stand. His father's toast. To love however it comes. Tears flowed. Bonds mended. Post-honeymoon, Tate returned invigorated. But a final conflict. Ellis ran for re-election on anti-LGBT platform, targeting Lincoln High. Tate campaigned against, speeches rallying voters. Debates fierce, ethics clashing. Truth versus smears. Election night. Ellis lost, progress prevailing. Celebration bittersweet. Friends gained, but enemies linger. Reflection. Choices define us, but at what cost? In the aftermath, Lincoln High buzzed with newfound energy. Tate's classes became havens for discussion. Students like Mia thriving as leaders. The GSA expanded, hosting events that bridged divides. Ryan and Tate settled into married life, their apartment a symbol of resilience. Weekend hikes in the Adirondacks offered escape, conversations deepening their connection. Family gatherings normalized. Barbecues where his father shared stories, acceptance growing organically. Emily's support unwavering. Her own life inspired to authenticity. Jake graduated, heading to college with Tyler, their relationship a testament to change. "Thanks, Mr. T," he said at commencement, hugs sealing their bond. Yet echoes of pain lingered. Tate occasionally woke from nightmares of outings, therapy ongoing. Ryan's patience infinite, but he admitted, "It changed us." Professionally, Tate advanced to department head, implementing curricula on social justice. Recognition came, awards from advocacy groups, his story inspiring nationwide. A final twist. A former bully, now adult, apologized via letter. "You showed me mercy I didn't deserve." Closure, but reminder of human complexity. As years blurred, Tate pondered the journey. The shocks, betrayals, awakenings. Love endured, but not without sacrifice. Society progressed, but regressions loomed. New laws challenging rights. Tate remained vigilant, mentoring the next generation. In quiet moments, he questioned, was the bold move worth the turmoil? Did flipping the school justify the personal toll? And so, the story ends not with resolution, but reflection. Is fighting for authenticity always the right choice, even when it costs everything you hold dear?